Hello everyone and welcome back to Critical Builds. So today we're doing another continuation video on doing the Valor Bard. If you were to take the Vengeance Paladin and go into Valor Bard, remember this is a continuation build. Link will be in the description for the Valor Bard for the Vengeance Paladin video on levels 1 through 7. So this is starting at character level 8. So Bard 1, we have music and instrument, choose whatever. We get Bardic Inspiration, which could be a good use of our bonus action when we're not using like Smite or something like that. Cantrips and spells. Blade Ward, if you didn't get Blade Ward initially with the Warlock, I would highly recommend getting Blade Ward here. You can just spam cast this as a concentration spell, and before going into combat along with Shillelagh. Some good first level spells are Featherfall, Detect Magic, Unseen Servant. Unfortunately, with the Bard, your spell selection is not very offensive. That's the downside with the Bard, but it'll make up for it once you get the Bard level 6. In Bard level 2, you'll get access to more Bard spells, Expertise, and Jack of all trades. Level 3, we get the Valor subclass. This is what we're here for, but for the level 6 feature, not this feature. However, because we could not pick up shield with this build, this could be used to help us increase our AC, which is not bad. And if you are going to land, if you land a crit, you can then double your Bardic Inspiration die with this feature. Not bad. There again, a lot of utility spells, silent suggestion or what I recommend, but just pick whatever spells you want. Level 4, we're going to need the Spell Sniper feat. This is for what we're going to be doing once we get to Bard level 6. We need Spell Sniper so we can cast spells within melee range and not impose disadvantage upon ourselves. So get Stealth Sniper and get that Charisma to 19. Level 5 Bard is pretty interesting. We'll get some more spell selection. Again, a lot of utility spells. Hypnotic Pattern, people love this spell, but I would only use it if there's a lot of enemies. What's great though is our Bardic Inspiration come back on a short rest, so now we can use these for our shield or some as like a makeshift shield spell and deal some more damage. It's going to be great. Why we're here, level 6 Bard feature. Bard now gets the Blade Singer treatment. Because of that, they now get to replace one spell attack with Eldritch Blast. So going forward as this character, we're going to be casting Eldritch Blast and then do all of our attacks. So we replace the first attack with Eldritch Blast, we attack with the Quarterstaff, which then allows us to attack with the Scimitar, and then we'll have that bonus action open for whatever spell we're going to be casting. Great, and a very great single target DPS. We got to go back into Warlock just for one more level, which is good though because we'll get Eldritch Mind to get advantage on those concentration checks since we're not taking Warcaster with this build. And then we get Agonizing Blast, which will add a +4 to all those Eldritch Blasts and eventually a +5. And eventually Eldritch Blast at character level 17 will be shooting 4 beams, so even more consistent damage. I'll go over tactics quick. Divine Favor is not going to be working anymore because Divine Favor only applies to weapon. So we're going to be having to use Hunter's Mark if we want consistent damage on Eldritch Blast. Once we get the Bard to level 10, we unlock Magical Secrets, which allows us to choose spells from the Wizard, Cleric, and Druid spell list. So at Bard level 10, we'll get other options to boost his Eldritch Blast and simultaneous weapon damage. But for now, the only thing I can think of is Hunter's Mark to add a d6 to all those attacks. Next, we're going to Bard level 7. We get an updated Counter Charm, which is actually pretty good because it's on reaction now. We get some 4th level spells. Font of Moonlight is not a bad option because it adds 2d6 radiant damage and could potentially blind enemies. Dimension Door is great, and Freedom of Movement is also good because it could help with preventing paralysis and restraint. So it's pretty good. Only thing though is I think I'm not 100% sure. I gotta look it up. But Font of Moonlight, if it says to weapon attacks, then we can't apply this to Eldritch Blast. So I would stick with that Hunter's Mark. Level 8 Bard, I'm going to recommend Dual Wielder because we want to get an additional attack. The whole point of this build is to do a bunch of attacks all at triple advantage. Or if you're not going to level 20 and basically not getting a epic boon, I would get a whatever half feat here to cap your charisma. Pick whatever you want: inspiring leader, warcaster, ritual caster, gift of fate touch if you want to get gift of alacrity, because our initiative is pretty low on this character. Pick whatever you want. And yeah, level 9 bard, we're almost at the level 10 feature to get some really good access to really good spells. But we still at least get raised telepathic bond, which is amazing. This could be interesting if you really need some skill checks, and greater restoration is good too. Level 10 will get magical secrets, and this is where the floodgates open for all of these amazing spells that we could get with the wizard, cleric, and druid spell list. If Conjure Minor Elementals is not banned in your game, then this is the most damaging output character you'll be able to get, just due to the fact that Conjure Minor Elementals scales so high. And with this character now at this level, you have 4 attacks from Eldritch Blast, then you're getting an additional 3 attacks just from your weapon attacks, and then you're getting an additional bonus action attack every single round. So that's 8 attacks, all with Conjure Item Elementals, and depending what level you upcast this to, that could be an extra 68, 8d8. It's ridiculous. So yeah, but more than likely this is going to be banned or severely nerfed, and Spirit Shroud is going to be the balanced option, where it's a d8 and then 2d8 at 5th level, and I think 3d8 at 7th level. But still, adding all that dice to every single attack that you do with triple advantage, that'll pretty much always hit. It's going to do a lot of damage. Another great combination I would take is Auxilium's Resilient Sphere with Contingency. This is a wizard combo that you could do. Technically, you can also use Contingency on yourself to automatically cast Conjure Elementals if you know you gotta face this big bad boss, and to save you from having to cast this round 1, or Spirit Shroud, depending whichever spell you end up using here. But usually I would highly recommend saving this for as a defensive option, because this spell around you pretty much will negate most damage in the game. And you can set a contingency, basically lets you set a condition, and then when the condition happens, a spell is cast, or something like that's, I think, 4th or under, which both of these are 4th and under. So yeah, this is going to be a really good combo that you can set up on yourself, and you can say, like, when I reach 25% HP, Auxiliary Resilient Spheres, cast them myself, and it'll be concentration free. It's great. The Soul Cage is another cool spell. You get Force Cage here too. No, that's 7th level, sorry. Soul Cage, good spell. Only have access to 6th level spells with this character. So you're only going to be able to get to level 12. And the epic boon I would recommend is Boon of Fate. Helps with the saving throws. Remember, we're still a paladin or a protection. I think it'll be good. Now for our defense and offense. Like I stated earlier in the first video, please go and check that out. We're going to be using Warding Bond on the steed, and the steed is able to be upcasted depending on the level you cast it at. And since we're getting so many spell slots from Bard, we'll be able to cast the steed to a high level spell slot. I then recommend using Aid on you and your horse, and I would avoid Armor of Agathis just because a lot of enemies are going to have resistance to cold, and at this level you're going to be fighting a lot of high level high intelligent enemies. So remember, Armor of Agathis is not shared between you and your horse anymore. Only healing is shared between you and your steed. So they're more than likely they're going to be attacking the steed. And remember, hopefully at this point you have the barding, so you and your steed are both wearing plate. So no matter who gets attacked, the damage will be the same. I mean, the AC will be the same. And for the attack sequence, we've talked about this. We're going to use Vow of Enmity for triple advantage. Unleash 4 Eldritch Blast and weapon attack, precast either Conjure or Minor Elementals, or just use Spirit Shroud as a bonus action. That's the upside for Spirit Shroud. And then go ham on single target DPS. Either do that bonus action attack, or if you crit on any of these attacks, with the chances pretty high, then I would just keep using Divine Smite on critting, and you'll have so many spell slots that you can do this a lot. But yeah, that's the character build. Is there anything else in here that I missed? No, that's it. So I really hope you enjoyed this version of where the Vengeance Paladin goes after the first video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. All this whole document here, along with this character sheet, is in the Discord, all for free. Trying to build a Discord community where we all could talk Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe eventually, if it ever gets big enough, DMs could use it to find games. And I've just really like playing Dungeons and Dragons, and also building characters. So I really hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time.